Have you ever had a situation where your bicycle derailleur on the back breaks off? Well, we're going to talk about how to fix that today. This is Sean from Sean's DIY and Reviews. On this channel I do DIY around the house type of projects as well as electronics reviews. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, then definitely subscribe. Let's take a look at what I'm working on here. So about a week ago I was riding my bicycle and I decided to shift the front and the back at the same time. And what happens when you do that is a lot of times the chain will go off the sprocket in the back. And the derailleur is designed, if that happens, to break. It sounds like it's terrible and it's a defect, but it's not. It's to prevent the whole wheel from getting all bent out of shape and causing more injury and damage. That'll just snap off. It's not uncommon. So as you can see here, I broke this little piece of plastic as well because the chain went over the outside of this one and further in between here. That caused this guy to get bent backwards, and essentially the other half of it just snaps right off is what's supposed to happen. So when this happens, basically you're gonna have to replace this whole thing. These are the type of tools that you're gonna need in order to take the chains off. So this is just a chain breaker. This is the exact same thing. There's just two different models of the same one. This one I got at my local Walmart. Came with a little toolkit. The other thing you're going to need is you're going to need a new link, most likely. So you want to have one of those as well. What you'll do here is you'll put one of the chain links here into this little slot, and then you'll tighten this down as tight as you can until the pin starts coming out. Do not, by all means, do not take the pin all of the way out. Just take it about 3/4 of the way out so you can get the front part off. And then you're going to pop off the next link next to it so that you're exposing an outside piece. So all on the same link, two right next to each other, is what you're going to want to do, and that will allow the chain to then come open. But again, you want to keep the pins at least part of the way in there or you'll never get them back in. So now you want to make sure that you're taking two front pieces. So that would mean that basically within one link, two front pieces from the same link apart, and then separate your chain as I did. Then what you're going to need to do is take your old parts here and get them off the chain. And then on this side, you're going to have to unscrew this and take your cable off so that you could use it with the next one, and toss this and this away, and then we'll put the new piece routed the same way. Keep in mind how this particular thing goes, how it attaches on. If you need a frame of reference, you may want to use another bicycle, but essentially it goes under and then over on the bottom one. So it's like this. Next thing you need to do is pop out the bolt that goes in here, and it has two little clips. So you want to make sure that these little clips will then pop into the holes on here and make sure that's secure in place. Once that's there, then you will mount this back up onto here. Alright, so now I'm going to loosen this bolt, which is going to allow me to pull this cable out of this old one. I might have to twist this off and get this whole thing off. And then what I'll have to do is mount that through here and then tie that down to this bolt right here. Basically just replacing this system here with this system right here. Now that you have the end, so now that you have this little end piece off, you're going to come over to here and you're going to thread your cable down through this hole right here. Here's the other end of the cable, and you're going to tighten it around this bolt right here. And you're going to make sure you get it to the proper tension. I would do that after getting the chain back on. Okay, as I mentioned, once you have the chain wrapped around, it goes on the outside of the top one and then to the inside of the bottom one. Then you have that set up, then you put your chain back where you broke it. Better to do a master link, but if you didn't push it all the way through, you can just reverse the process, put this on the back side and just push the pin through enough so that it's sticking through, and then push this back on, and then squeeze it down further so that it fits on perfectly. Now I would test it out a little bit before going this way, and as I said, I would caveat by saying I would rather see you use a master link, but I just put the link back the exact same way as the writing was before, made sure the writing was on there the same way. Now what I'll do is I will adjust this to the smallest sprocket on each side, put this, then go over here and put this wire tight in here, check out all my gears as I shift them, that's for another video, and then just make sure everything shifts fine, and if that's the case, I'm back on the road. Took me all of about 20 minutes to do. So if this video was helpful to you, definitely give it a thumbs up. Ask any questions down below. Consider subscribing to the channel where I do a lot of DIY around the house type of projects, bicycle, home repairs, as well as electronics reviews. So if those things are interesting to you, definitely consider subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video.